The following is not meant for children, has been edited by Cute Stuff, and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome back. I am MaesterAelix, and this is MaesterAelix's Build Love Time, or better known as MaesterAelix's BLT. The videos in this series are where I go over character builds for some of my favorite RPGs, and in this video I plan to show, step by step, how to make a character build that I really enjoy, and explain why I enjoy it, and hopefully you will too. Now, I like to make fun and flavorful character builds, something that leans more into ROLE roleplay, as opposed to ROLL roleplay. However, it never hurts to give yourself some numerical advantages from time to time. Now, my way is far from the only way to build a character. This is just one character, built in a way I think is fun. And hopefully I've done a good enough job that you would want to play and enjoy this character too. However, feel free to change things to remake a character the way you do want to have them played. As I go through this build, I'm going to go into detail into what I've selected and why I've selected the things I do. But what I won't be doing is reading the books to you. First off, that's really boring. And second, doing that removes your need to get these books for yourself. I love these games, for I'd love for you to support these publishers. So please, go buy their books. Now, let's get these ingredients out, shuffled up, and mise on the heck out of this plus, and build this BLT.
Fission! It's the High Guard! What do they want?
They don't want a partner, they want a trigger.
And this week's art is brought to us once again by The Wraith. I mean, look at these two. I love them. They just, And I like how it looks like they're wearing suspenders or ties. It's so adorable. And if you would like a fantastic piece of art made by The Wraith, you can contact them on Discord at The Wraith or on Instagram at /x6612. Today's BLT is for the Transformers RPG by Renegade Games. The character today is Fusion and his minicon partner Fission, the power couple. Fusion is an energon power regulator, while Fission is a Cybertronian engine, a power master. Because Fission is the power master, he is the literal heart of the operation. He doesn't just store energy, he generates it at a subatomic level. Fission acts as a hyper-dense, volatile, living engine. On his own, the raw energon output he creates is actually too dangerous and unstable for a standard Autobot or Decepticon to plug directly into. It would fry their circuits. Fusion binary bonds directly to Fission to safely harness that raw nuclear output. He takes Fission's chaotic massive energy spikes and fuses them into a stable, hyper-compressed stream. He is the universal adapter and surge protector that allows a larger hostbot to handle Fusion's insane wattage. Fusion binds their energy with the hostbot's energy, creating a massive, sustained power upgrade that makes the host nearly unstoppable. The result? The hostbot gets an immediate, massive overclock. Their weapons grow hotter, their thrusters burn brighter, and they effectively become a walking weapon of mass destruction for as long as the duo can maintain connection. These are the kind of bots that the Autobots and Decepticons went to war over, causing the other minicons to flee Cybertron. So, let's get into the layers of this BLT, shall we? The books you'll need to get from Renegade Games to make the characters I've made them here are the Core Rulebook, Decepticon Directive, and Enigma of Combination. Now, before we begin, I'm going to warn you, this character is more complex than my average character is, so this will be a longer video. However, the end results are totally worth it. Now, with that out of the way, let's begin. Influence. Well, to get this character duo just right, we're going to have to do a little bit of hoop jumping. So for the first influence, you'll want to take Titan Spark from Enigma of Combination. This is so we can increase Fusion's size category from common to large. will need to be large for the second influence, which is Binary Bonded, also from Enigma of Combination. Binary Bonded lets you pick from a short list of other perks, all of which grant you a different kind of minicon. In this case, I want to grab a Power Master. This is Fission. Take your choice of purpose skills, but for this video I selected Science, because I figured a nuclear scientist was the best way to go with nuclear. Hang Up. With 2 influences, you'll need to take a hang up, and since Fusion and Fission were held captive by Decepticons for a very long time, I've decided they have become distressed. Origin. For Fusion, there's a perk I really want to have at the start of the game to really hammer home that this team is all about the Energon. So to get it, I'm going to have to take the Drone Origin from Decepticon Directive. This Origin's perk, A Hint of Independence, allows us to take a drone in perfection in exchange for a general perk that we meet the prerequisites for. In this case, to counteract the health gain from Titan Spark, and to keep them more in line with other minicons, I decided to take the drone in perfection, Fragile Chassis. The general perk you want to get immediately is Spark of the Ancients from Enigma of Combination. This is an amazing perk which will allow Fusion to have better capacity for Energon and regenerate it faster. Between Spark of the Ancients and Titan Spark, and the fact that they are drones, you could say that Fusion and Fission were the last of their kind, having been hunted down by the bigger bots during the Civil War. Now, as a drone, you also get to adopt the stats and powers of another origin, and in this case, you'll want Minicon, also from Decepticon Directive. This gives you the perk Frame Efficacy, letting you pick a kind of Minicon that you are, and Fusion is a power conduit. This version of Minicon is fun and helpful. They help those they dock to with skill tracks, more or less. As a drone, we get our choice of essence skills, which is awesome. At this point, I'm going to take a social essence increase, putting that skill point into Persuasion. Role. To really lean into the Minicon combining dynamic of this team, I really had to lean into the role of Mode Master. This is the most complex and complicated role in the game, but don't worry, I'm not going to go into full detail. I'm going to distill it down as best I can for you to get the key points that you'll need to make this character. First, you'll get the Cybertronian perk Fully Hybrid. This perk can be very useful when you need it, but more often you'll have more important uses for your Energon. Next is the perk Custom Frame, which lets you choose priority on your essence gains as you level up. I prioritize things like this: Speed first, Smart second, Social third, and Strength fourth. The next perk is Mass Shift. Now this is what makes Mode Masters so unique. There's a short list of what you can use your Mass Shifts on, so keep that in mind. I tend to lean towards skill tests for Fusion. Last, and most certainly not least, is Quick Change. This perk lets you transform faster, so for Fusion I'm choosing the transformation from going from alt mode to bot mode. Now I would normally want to do this the other way around, but that doesn't sync up with Fission so easily, so I went with the Emergency Detach idea. As a Mode Master, you, again, get full choice of your essence and skills. So this time I went with Speed Essence and the Targeting skill, as we will have a ranged weapon. The next is a +1 to Smarts Essence, and this time I'm putting it into Technology, as this is a skill we'll need to have a D2 in for a weapon prerequisite later. Focus. To maximize the Armada-like power linking aspect of the team, I had to go with the Focus Component Ace from Enigma of Combination. This is a very fun focus if you want to be part of a team. At this time you get the perk Combiner Specialization, which also in turn lets you pick from a short list of other perk options. In this case I chose Matched Combiner. Now, if you can, talk to your GM to see if you can get instead the Universal Component perk instead of this one. It fits the Minicon aspect better. If not, then Matched Combiner is perfectly fine. Now, it doesn't state in the rules that a minicon ally can't be your combiner partner, but it also doesn't clearly state that they can. So, talk to your GM to see whom or what you can properly combine with. In any case, taking Matched Combiner will let us get a combination feature. Ideally, you'd want to take something like Titan Hardpoint, but without knowing whom or what you can combine with, I'm not certain you can meet the prerequisites on that one. So to be safe, you can take either Enhanced Speed or Enhanced Initiative, and I chose Enhanced Initiative this time because that is a skill. Like other Mode Master focus options, Component Ace lets us pick our essence and skill. This time I chose the Strength Essence, not only to balance out the essence scores, but because it'll be a slight boost to the essence gains later on. As for the skill, I'm choosing Brawn, to work towards a weapon prereq I mentioned earlier. Faction. Despite the cruelty at their hands, Fission and Fusion still carry the Decepticon auto brand, so they get the faction perk, Hail Megatron. Gear. Mode Masters have the most limited selection of gear in all of Transformers, but for Fission and Fusion this really isn't a problem. They're more than likely going to be docked to another bot and help them, but it doesn't hurt to have options. For the internal slot, I'm taking a laser rifle from Decepticon Directive. A solid choice, and it sets us up for some silly tech later. In the external slots, I had to take a breaker bar from Enigma of Combination. This weapon is designed to tear apart other combiners, which is just so petty, I love it. Now be aware the prerequisites of that is a D4 in Brawn and a D2 in Tech. So let's head to the next step to make sure we meet those. Essence Step. Now the Essence Step for many builds is a key step, and while here it's no different, we don't have a whole lot of goals we want to meet this time, but we do have a few things on the list. Unlike normal, with the suggested spread of 4-3-3-2, this time to maximize our Energon score, I'm going to evenly spread it out 3s across the board. So that makes it a 4 in Strength, a 4 in Speed, a 4 in Smarts, and a 4 in Social. With all the Essence scores set to 4 for now, which normally would make our Energon score a 4, but thanks to Spark of the Ancients, our Energon score is now 6. First, we're going to address Strength. I'm putting a point into Brawn, so we can use that breaker bar, 1 into Athletics in case we find a grenade, and 1 into Might, as that will be our melee combat stat. Next is the Speed Essence. I'm putting 1 point into each of Initiative, Acrobatics, and Infiltration. All of these are good, and we definitely don't want to have a penalty on Initiative. After that, we'll look at the Smarts Essence. Put 1 into Alertness because you never want that to be at a snag, 1 into Culture, and then 1 into Science. Science is Fission's purpose skill, so for this time I suggest you also pick up the Minicon perk for him, Energetic Assistance from Decepticon Directive, and select Laser Element. This not only protects them against laser damage a bit, but also lets them use their own Minicon Mini Blaster as a laser pointer for others. Additionally, if you read Power Master carefully, if they take laser damage, they can actually absorb it and turn it back into Energon, so the fact that they'll get hurt less is ideal. Last, and certainly not least, is Social Essence. This time we're spreading the points out across Streetwise, Deception, and Performance. With Fusion, I wanted to spread the points around, to avoid penalties and to better match with what a Power Conduit Minicon does mechanically. Hey, you've made it this far into the video. Thank you for that. Seems like you're liking the video, so please show that you do by hitting the thumbs up button down below. Maybe leave a comment, tell me what you're enjoying. Now that the character has been established, let's get into the levels. This time we're going all the way to level 10 to get to the complete build. Level 2. Level 2 is a fun one where we get to unlock the Mode Master perk, Hybridization. which is a fantastic list of options to pick from. All are good, so take your pick. Level 2 also gives you a speed essence increase, and I'm putting that into targeting. We want to use that laser rifle somewhat well. Level 3. This level gives you the nice focus perk Efficient Combination, which reduces the cost of combining. Not that we'll be running out of energon anytime soon, but it's still nice to have. This level also gives you +1 to your Smarts Essence, and this time I'm going to put that into the Survival skill. Level 4. Level 4 is where we can do some real silly tech. First off, we get our choice of a general perk. For this time, I'm picking Shiny Finish from Decepticon Directive. This gives Fusion a resistance to laser damage, which, if Fission is attached, can also be translated into more energon. So, now, you can basically shoot yourself to regenerate more energon. Go laser rifle, go shiny finish, go silly tech. I find the idea of Fusion and Fission shooting each other harmlessly to be hilarious. Level 4 also boosts our social essence by 1, and this time, why not put that skill into animal handling? Level 5. This level is another interesting one, with the perk Jack of All Forms gained. In short, it gives us more uses of mass shift per day, which is just great. It's a solid use of a core class ability. This level also raises our speed essence, and to keep spreading points around, I'm putting that into driving. Level 6. Level 6 is one of those levels that I could eagerly await for. Not only does this level's perk, Invigorating Connection, fit the theme perfectly for Fission and Fusion, but it also has a rock-solid function. It regains health, which is always handy. Level 6 also sees you raise your Strength Essence by 1, letting us increase our Might skill, but also raises our Minimum Essence by 1, which in turn raises our Energy score to 7. Amazing. Level 7. This level, once more, gives us a hybridization option. Again, take your pick. I'd suggest Replacement Part to further do repairs for yourself. This level also gives us a +1 to Smarts. And to better support Fission, I put that point into Science. Keep in mind that for this video, Fission's purpose skill is Science, so do level up Fission appropriately. Level 8. Level 8's another fun one. We again get to choose a general perk, and for the longest time I couldn't decide on what to take. But then it hit me. Veteran. Veteran is perfect. We're already spreading our skill points thin to be a better power conduit, but why not benefit so much more? Plus, the background story determined for Fission and Fusion that they are very old bots, so being a veteran just makes too much sense. Level 8 also raises our social essence, and I'll use that to raise Fusion's persuasion. Level 9. This level gives us the perk Quick Change 2, or rather Quick Change a second time. This lets us pick a different conversion option, so we'll go from bot to alt mode this time. And this speedy perk comes with a nice essence increase to the speed essence, and I think this time it's best we go give ourselves a little bit more love to initiative. Level 10. And here we are. This level's perk, Better as One, just brings the whole power conduit, skill lover, energon storehouse thing together. This is a great perk, and while it's true at this time we don't have any skill specializations, after this point there's no reason not to. Also, the ability to give upshifts for our other team members for their skill tests, just for the price of energon, is perfect for Fission and Fusion. Level 10 also gets us a much needed Strength Essence. Thankfully, we chose this as the Focus Essence, getting us here at level 10. And with the repair abilities from earlier, I think it would be good if we added 1 to our conditioning. And at this point, for what I wanted to do for Fission and Fusion, I'm done. Now that I have hindsight, the combination of Power Conduit and Power Master is kinda obvious. But then adding in that component ace is truly amazing. They are a huge boon to anyone they dock with, and it's gonna be great. This is very much how I think an Armada minicon should feel. Powerful, desirable. I can see why wars were fought over bots like these. These two can also have so much character. Trauma over their years of abuse at the hand of Decepticons, the scars they carry from being overloaded and redlined. The possibilities are so great. Alternatives. Well, there's a few options here. First, to get an expanded weapon selection, you could go with the High Guard faction from Transformers 1 sourcebook. This also fits the We Are Very Ancient theming. And if you do go that route, then there's an amazing, perfectly themed weapon from Techno-Organic Secrets in Lightning Projector. I was so tempted to take these options, but in the end I decided that Fission and Fusion were complicated enough, and I didn't need to dip into 2 more books for just one thing each. Another alternative is the pure overkill option, that is to get the general perk Cybertronian perk from the Field Guide to Fun and Adventure to get the Raiders Cybertronian perk of Energon Efficiency. And then hold off your level 11 general perk to level 12 and take Fuel Efficient. These two together will give you a solid chance to regenerate your last Energon upon spending it, which in all likeliness is going to be needed because you have an enormous Energon pool. But still, it's overkill, and there ain't no kill like it. Well, with all of that being said, here's where I'm going to say, thank you all for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, and of course subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I greatly appreciate everyone who does. If you have enjoyed this video, check out the links down below for links to my artist, my editor, my merch market, and of course my Patreon campaign, where you can get a variety of rewards including early access to all my videos. Thank you all for joining me, and I shall see you all on the next one. This is a special shout out to all my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. Aaron Smith, Dennis Detman, Drew Betts, Harry Thompson, Mark Milius, and Takashi Yamato. Thank you all so much. These videos wouldn't exist without you.